Our next part we're going to create is the handle rod. This is a circular part, so we can make it using the revolve tool. So I'm going to cut this in half, draw it, and then revolve it around itself. So our first step is to draw the center line of it, which we can see is going to be 6.5 inches long. We always want the center line to be as long as the whole part. I'm going to start a sketch and just draw a 6.5 inch long line. Now I'm going to select this line and make it a center line so that everything will spin around itself. Now I'm going to draw this, and we notice that the diameter of this part here and this part are both 0.75. So I'm going to be careful to make those the same height. I'm going to come up, over, and again when I come up I'm going to make sure they line up to each other. And there's my part. Now I'm going to dimension it. And while I usually do horizontal first, when I do a revolve, I typically like to do my diameters first. And because we're careful to make those two at the same height, both of them are going to stay 0.75. I don't need to dimension that side. Now I can dimension my horizontal distances. So I see it's 1 inch over and 0.5 inches over. And lastly, I have this chamfer here of 0.0625 times 45 degrees. I ignore the 45 degrees. Autodesk Inventor automatically will select it as 45 unless I tell it to do otherwise. So I'm going to click on the little drop down. Typically there's the fillet tool here, and select chamfer. Type in the dimension. And then I can just select those two corners and chamfer it. Now let's revolve it, and that's the part so far. Only thing we're missing is that hole cutting through it. We have a hole of diameter of 0.375 inches, and it's 0.5 inches from the end. So to do that, I need to expand my origin and find which plane cuts through the center of it, and create a sketch on it. Then I can slice my graphics, so I can see the middle. And while we usually use the hole tool to make a hole, because the hole has to go both ways, I'm going to just use the circle tool. And so I made the circle, then I want to dimension it to be 0.5 from the end. And it's still green, and that's because it can go up and down. So to keep it from doing that, I'm going to use a horizontal constraint from the center of the circle to the center point of this yellow line that we created. And there it is. Now I can just extrude that circle. I want to select it to cut because I want to cut out the circle. And I want it to go both ways. And my distance should be all, since I'm cutting everything in the way. Click OK. And there we go. Now let's just change my material to alloy steel. So that's what it says to be. And check our mass. And we have a mass of 0.590 pounds. So let's save the part. That's the screw, and we are done.